Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Campea. It is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is all the time whenever I do videos here on the channel, to have you guys joining me. And today, this afternoon, this is just a special little video because I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. I forgot to do it a little bit earlier on the John Campea Show earlier, but I want to do a little bit of house cleaning and let you guys know about some of the stuff I got going on around here. In particular, I'm going to tell you about a new weekly show that I'm starting. I talked a little bit about it on the John Campea Show earlier. I'll give you some more details in that second. And by the way, feel free, use the super chat feature. If you got some questions about anything that I'm doing here, go ahead and send that in. But for now, let's get to it. As you guys know, Robert and I have already let you guys know that starting tomorrow, the Weekly Hero returns, and we're very excited about that. Of course, it'll be a weekly wrap-up of not just the superhero movie news, but also the superhero television stuff now that all the TV shows are back and all that kind of stuff, and we're really excited about it. But what about all the other stuff in the world of television, movies, some sports stuff, just the big things of the week that I like to talk about? Well, decided that we needed a weekly wrap-up show for that as well. And so, starting in a couple of weeks, we're going to be starting a brand new weekly show. It's going to be live streamed probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoons on Thursdays, where it's just going to be, we're going to take all the biggest stuff of the week and we're going to chat about it and we're going to talk about it and lay that all out. And I'm really excited because I've been wanting to get back to doing this for a while, but it's just been a matter of, you know, working out the scheduling and all that kind of stuff to make sure I had enough time to do it. So we got the Weekly Hero starting tomorrow. That's going to be a weekly roundup of all the comic book, television, and movie stuff, and then the wider range things for Thursdays starting in just a couple of weeks. So I'm very, very excited about that. I wanted to let you guys know about that. Now, as far as the title of the show goes, here it is. This is the title of the new show.
This is not the bathroom. What's happening over here? Wait a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what's going on?
Mark Ellis.
That's right.
Wait a minute.
That's
Sorry.
right.
Christian Harloff.
You know, I've been busting my ass for 5 years to figure this thing out, and I figured it out today. John, welcome back. It's good to be back. Does that make sense?
It's well, yeah. Good to have you back in my place. And yes, we've got a new show coming called Campea and Harloff Show, where we're going to be running down all the stuff of the week and everything. And dude, you said we went to go. What we see, Gemini Man.
Gemini Man, yeah.
The other night?
Yeah, it's not the best memory, but but still there.
But you said something while we were sitting there. You said something that I guess I knew.
My bladder hurts.
Which, I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But I guess I knew in my head, but it's when you put it out there and you speak it. It's been like 2.5 years.
Since we've done a show together.
Since you and I have done a show together.
Well, we've seen each other. We've
of
broke
course,
bread.
Yeah.
Right. Contrary to the beef that we apparently have.
Yes, which was always hilarious.
No, but
we have seen each other a lot. But we have, considering how many, dare I say, thousands of episodes of shows you and I have done.
Yeah, easily.
It's weird to think that it's been 2.5 years since we've done a show together.
And the last thing that we probably did together was probably like an episode of the Schmodown. Probably calling a match or something.
You know what? That's not probably. I remember the day. It was. We were calling a match on the Schmodown together.
Yeah.
That was the last time we did a show together.
Isn't that crazy? Look at that.
And so you know, I've been talking about for months. Say, look, eventually, somewhere down this yellow brick road, there's going to be Oz, where we finally get a chance to do something together again. And I am so excited to be doing this with you. It's just going to be so great once a week. First of all, I'm super excited about the SEN network that you got going. I'm so excited about the stuff that you're going to be doing over there. But the fact that we're going to be able to once a week sit down and actually just you and I talk about stuff is super stoked for me.
Actually, John,
one time a week. I mean, it's just great. One time a week is like almost perfect.
Well, I got news for you. I don't know if you know this. You might know this.
Okay.
We're actually going to be on the air twice a week, you and I.
Twice?
Yes, because guess what happened? You didn't even know it. I signed you to a contract.
Did I not read the fine details?
You didn't read the fine details
God.
because on Tuesdays on the SEN network, you'll get this show.
There we go.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, dark side, light side, because I'm sure everybody's asking, well, you guys aren't going to talk about Star Wars? Well, we'll definitely talk about Star Wars on the Campea and Harloff show.
When there's a big piece of news.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not going to be a dedicated Star Wars thing. Now, of course, I've been bad. I have kind of led my audience to believe that Star Wars Talk Tuesdays was coming back. And in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, that is true from a certain point of view.
Not your fault, though, because we had a lot of conversations. We were trying to figure out what would work best for what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
And what you and I have always wanted to do forever, for years and years ago, what we're so good at, I think, together is the kind of like talk radio, back and forth, just having conversations. We'll be able to do it here on Thursdays, and now we can do it for Star Wars, because that's what I really want to do. I just want to be able to, we're going to be arguing about Star Wars. That's what we do best.
Of course, that's what we're going to do.
But we'll also be able to, hear each other's points out, talk about the latest in Star Wars, see what's happening, and what a way to do it, right? When The Mandalorian is coming out, and we also have episode 9, that we'll probably get the announcement eventually with whether it's the Benioff and Weiss stuff, and what's Kevin Feige's movie, right, all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because, so just to be clear for everybody watching right now, so Tuesdays every week on the SEN network, this is starting in November. It's going to be Dark Side, Light Side on the SEN network, not here on the John Campea network. It's going to be over on SEN, over on Christian's channel. That's going to be me and Christian talking Star Wars, and I'm sure you're probably going to have other people drop in now and again.
Of course,
too.
Yeah, but I think we start and we lay the ground with just you and I.
It's just going to be you and me.
And you can find that. You go to youtube.com/theschmodown.
And then on Thursdays, 2 days later, we go a little bit broader, and it's going to be the Campea and Harloff show here on the John Campea YouTube channel on Thursdays. And I'm telling you what, dude, it's been a while since I love our job.
Yeah.
I love our job. But it's been a while since I've been this giddy about doing something like this again. You know, I'm lucky. I get to work with Robert, Meyer Burnett almost every day. And, you know, one of the best things for my career, I love what I do, but the best parts have always been about who I get to do it with. And you're just one of the best.
Thank you.
The fact that you and I get to do this together again is very exciting.
It's very exciting. I think, a lot of people have been asking about it. We've been playing coy.
Coy, yeah.
But, like you said, there was something really special about back in the AMC days when it was me and you and Schnepp and Ellis and the whole crew. And it might not be everybody, but at least we get to kind of carry on the tradition and try to do something brand new. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do. I think there'll be some funny moments. There'll be some serious moments. There'll be a lot of new things that we can figure out, and maybe new talent that we can find also together, which I think has always been our strong point.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know why I just had this thought. You and I would debate a lot when we were doing Star Wars shows together. But I remember one of my favorite, there's this one time, I can't remember what the topic was, but I was known when we were doing Star Wars together as a little bit of the negative one sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember this one time, I can't remember what the topic was, but you read off the story. Then you're about to throw it over me and say, John, you hate this news. Why? And I haven't even talked about it.
Right. Well, don't worry. Apparently I have taken over that moniker. Everyone thinks that I'm the negative one in the council now, but that is, I think that what we'll find is I think there's a lot of new exciting things to talk about with Star Wars.
There really
now.
are.
So many new shows, so many new.
And Disney Plus opens up a whole new dimension for it too.
It does. But that's why when we were talking further what we can do, like the idea of the Campea Harloff thing, that means that we can talk about anything. And that's another thing that we have really not been able to do together. Normally it's been clear-cut movie news and everything too, but there's other things that we can talk about that we just shoot the crap about all the time.
Which is going to be great. And listen, guys, we don't want to drag this out for too long, but a bunch of you guys have been firing in questions that you seem to have. So let's go over and take some of the questions that you guys have been throwing in. James Germain writes, Hall Pass coming to a theater. So just so you know, Hall Pass, that is the fictitious movie with me and Jennifer Garner.
Makes sense.
That the Anne has allowed Jennifer Garner to be my... Did you see that post? Yeah, one of the fan made that. Yeah. Sebastian Dietz writes, the Camp Off Show, ranting just about everything.
Accurate.
Which is probably pretty accurate. Let's see. Club Stars writes, this is interesting. Geese and Gamers, pass your subs. How do you feel? I don't know. I mean, there are about 500,000 YouTube channels. I'm a very, very small YouTube channel. So I have about 500,000 YouTube channels that are bigger than me. And about 500,000 I'm bigger than, so it doesn't really matter. James Gold writes, Ellis and Tiffany Smith when just for a visit. Well, that's really more SEN stuff, I would think. So, I know Mark is still doing stuff with you at the SEN network as well. And
yesterday.
You just had a chance to talk to Tiffany over at Marshall's Way. wedding.
I did talk to Tiffany, but as far as the news with Ellis, because that's a good question. A lot of people have been asking that. I did do a live stream on SEN yesterday, and I announced that Ellis will be back on SEN once a week. And it's very similar to what we used to do on Schmoes Know, but we're going to be doing a show together once a week on SEN, and it'll probably be the same spot, the 10 to 12 p.m., 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. spot. We just haven't figured out what day yet. Tiffany is down to come in. She's very busy. She's a working actress now, crushing it.
She's all over the place.
Crushing
right
it,
now.
but she's interested and wants to come back and do some spots. So I think that we can get her to come on Dark Side, Light Side.
All right, I've got a few more things here. Mark Newman writes, taking turns in this studio and SEN studio. Also, Hot Toys must return to Weekly Hero. Oh, don't worry about that. Of course, part of the Weekly Hero every week was Rob, who has literally a collection of 400 or 500 Hot Toys. He features a new Hot Toy every week, and that will be coming back starting tomorrow. Yep. Angel Cortez writes, this will break the internet. Here's hoping from your keyboard to God's ears, man. Luis Blanco writes, Harloff. People seem to either that or he's outraged.
He's screaming at me to get out of the
he's either very excited or he's outraged at this point about you being here. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Cutter Hale writes, big fan of both y'all. So excited, dude. You can't be more excited than we are. Like we literally. I mean, I'm not gonna pull the full thing up, but if I literally show you. The text messages, where the hell did it go? Like literally, you probably can't read it, but we were literally texting back and forth like last week about how we're very excited about doing this. There's some Macho Man GIFs and Hulk Hogan GIFs in there.
Oh, yeah.
So believe me, both of us were very excited too. SXS Envy, John would demolish Damon, just saying.
I don't know, man. That's competition. We're going to have that conversation. We're going to have that conversation eventually. That's what I love, by the way. I got to tell you, the fact that you're going to be on SEN and the fact that we get to go back and forth, you're one of the best people I've ever had to talk about the Schmodown with. You were so good on that desk. I missed you on the desk. And
I miss being on the desk.
Yeah, man. And to talk to you again about Schmodown, because Alex Damon, that kid, I mean, he's good. He's real good. No comment?
Dude, there's men and then there's kids pretending to be men.
All right.
I mean, look, that's just the way it is. Hold on a second. Where are we at here? I lost my spot already because these are flying in pretty quick. Okay, here we go. Nathan Tinney. Luca A writes, RIP to the competition dream team. Well, no, I mean, look, it's not about competition. It's not about, that's the great thing about YouTube. There's not winners and losers. It's just, there's tons of content for everybody that you can watch, and then you can go watch somebody else's video, and then you can go watch somebody else's video. For Christian and I, this isn't about, this is about, we're just happy we get to work together. It's not about what our shows are in relation to anybody else's shows. This is just great fun that we get to do this, and I think you guys are going to enjoy watching it as well. Nathan Tinney writes, longtime fan of both, first time super chatter. This is great news. I'm totally on board with this plan. Full steam ahead. And it is full steam ahead. You know, Christian, in many ways, it feels, in one hand, it feels like this came together very quickly. But it's something like that we have thought about and talked about for a while. Sure. I mean, so in some ways it came together quickly, but I mean, we've always known at some point we were going to be doing some stuff together again.
The idea was always, I mean, eventually, like I said, I've been very happy what I've been doing over the last 6-7 years, and sometimes there's just time for a change. And I think that when you go on that change, you got to have plans, and you got to know. And you have to listen to the audience, and not only just listening to the audience, you got to know whether or not by listening it's the correct choice, right? And then,
yeah.
So you and I have talked about things, and we've said that eventually, we'll when there's a time and a place, we'll figure it out, and it just happened to just work perfectly.
Yeah, and it came together really smoothly. Yeah. Like, it was kind of crazy. Luca A writes, I was writing to ask about Star Wars Talk Tuesday, and then y'all announced the Star Wars show. Well, use this time to promote your Patreon. Well, thank you so much, Luca. I will promote the Patreon. Guys, join, not just Christian's got a Patreon. By the way, Christian, where can people, if they want to be Patreon supporters as well of SCN and stuff like that, where do they go?
Thank you. Yeah, so we're doing a lot with the Patreon, and that's the Schmodown Patreon. It's just patreon.com/Schmodown, and that will support the SEN network. That will support the Schmodown in general. If you have never watched the Schmodown before, please try to do that. But even if you're not interested in movie trivia and you just want to watch the brand new content, it's going to be starting November 4th, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is the morning radio. Yeah. Call it the morning radio show. And then the Star Wars show will be on Tuesdays. Haven't thought about a time yet. John and I are still talking about that. But that's what we have at the moment. New shows are still coming, but patreon.com/Schmodown.
All right, there you go. Let's see here. Soggy Mini Muffins writes, "This is incredible. Salute you two farts." Well, thank you so much.
So Soggy Muffins has been contributing a lot over at SEN.
Oh, really?
And he's amazing. He chimes in with a robot voice and does amazing stuff. He's a good guy.
Let's see here. Haskell 420 in all caps, screaming, "Yes, finally. No BS, sniffle my dream, and thousands of other fans' dreams have come true after 2.5 years apart. The magic and chemistry is back, ladies and gentlemen. Can't you feel it? Woohoo!" And I'll give it a little bit of Ric Flair in there. Woo! Thanks, you guys. Now watch as we get together to do shows. We don't know what the hell to talk about.
Right.
It must be a lot of. It's like me and my dating life. A lot of awkward silence.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sitting around talking about nothing. Figure it out.
Yeah. All right. What do we got here? Thank you so much for that, by the way, Haskell. Really appreciate that, dude. And we are very excited about it as well. Evelyn Yakora writes, "I'm in the middle of work, but screw that. I just stopped everything for watching this. I'm not even a big Star Wars nerd, but I will watch the show." Well, thank you so much. You know, that's the cool thing. You know, it's funny, Chris, because a lot over the years, as you and I did different Star Wars stuff, we had number of people contacting us and say, "You know what? I was never even into Star Wars until watching you guys talk about it, and that got me into Star Wars," rather than kind of the other way around.
Well, you don't want to make it too inside baseball. You want to make it so a casual fan or someone who just maybe likes Star Wars, but you talk about the stuff that's happening in the world. You tell them about the news, but then it's being able to give your opinion. And I think that that's one of the things sometimes, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel, DC, whatever it is, sometimes you get lost where people forget it's an opinion. And they think that you're trying to say that it's fact. You can be passionate about something, say something, but I want to make sure that that's what we get back to. That's what you and I are always good at, is that even many times that we have not agreed with each other on the show, but we have come to a place where like, well, I see your point, and sometimes even convince each other. You know what? I remember a couple times we're like, wait, I see where you're coming from here. Let me look at it this way.
Yeah, there have been many times in conversations between you and I where one of us would speak, then the other one would speak, and then the first guy would go, "You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You've convinced me."
I'm sure. Yeah, that'll happen a million times over. Especially, I cannot wait to talk about Mandalorian with you. Do you watch Resistance? Have you watched the show yet?
I have not watched Resistance.
I watched season 1. I think I'm going to catch it. Once Disney Plus comes out, I'll probably check out and go back. So, because I want to have, especially now with this new show, to really catch up on everything. Because I stopped. Remember, back in the day, I read all the books. I read everything.
Oh, yeah.
But when it didn't connect as much, when I felt I wasn't being rewarded as much, I stopped reading. But I think that I have so many that I'm gonna kind of tear back into, so we have a lot to talk about.
Did you? I've never asked you this. Did you read the most recent Thrawn novel?
I have all 3 of them. I've read the first one.
Oh, okay. I actually the second one's not as good as the first.
Right.
The third one was. I like the third one a lot, but we'll talk more about that because I've got some other thoughts on that. But you have to read the books first. Okay, let's see. Luca A writes, "Will we ever get you, Robert, and Harloff at once?" Well, probably not on any of the morning shows, but I wouldn't doubt it at all if we had Rob pop in on the Campea and Harloff show once in a blue moon or something like that.
I refuse. Too much of a big blowhard.
Too much Robert Meyer at one time. But yeah, I'm sure you're going to see that at some point. Min writes, "You almost made me cry. I can't wait." We're very excited too. Min, thanks for writing that in, dude. We appreciate that. Asian movie enthusiast. It's very descriptive. Writes, "I do appreciate both of your efforts. I look forward to this collaboration again, and I also look forward to disagreeing with you on occasion." But dude, that is when it's most fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun when we get to talk about the things we agree with, but it's more fun when we come across things, whatever, as presenters and as viewers that we disagree on. That's when it's more fun. And thank you so much. And you do have the coolest name of the day so far, Asian movie enthusiast. Lee Sandoval writes, "What? JC and KH, my 2 favorite jabronis. You guys rule." Well, thank you so much, Lee. And it's really we thought there would be some enthusiasm about just for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah.
But as people, and I'm sure you've seen this, as people have started to sniff what's been going on, the amount of enthusiasm we've been seeing from the audience has been really affirming. It's been really nice to see.
I think so, and I think that it's especially when they knew both of us were coming back to do a Star Wars show on what they some thought, one on your channel, one on mine. People like, "Well, why don't you just do it with John? Why don't you do it with John? Come on, you guys have had lunch together, make it happen." And I was like, and I did a long Q&A. I told you about this so there's a Facebook group if you wanted to join it. It's the Schmodown Entertainment Network Facebook group, and there's a lot of conversations out there. You'll be able to discuss in full Dark Side, Light Side when we do our live streams. But I was doing a Q&A. And one of those things that they were asking me all these questions, I was asking everything honestly, except, are you doing something with Campea? And I would say, I love dogs. And
then
I
remember. Yeah,
it's like, so are you going to be doing something with John Campea? I had a bagel this morning. And I would just play coy and that was my way of saying, of course. But, we'll figure it out.
All right, next up here, we've got Jeremy Ingalls writes, will this be on the podcast feeds? Well, I can tell you that the Campea, we haven't gone into detail about podcast. I'll tell you that the Campea and Harloff show will go onto the pod. There will be a podcast feed of that as well, and I can only assume you're probably going to be doing the same for Dark Side, Light Side.
Yeah, every podcast that is on SEN at the moment, if you go to whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and you go to the Movie Trivia Schmodown podcast feed, you will get every show that we do will be on that podcast feed.
All right. Ray writes, Avengers Assemble. It does kind of feel a little bit like that, doesn't it, Ray? And I appreciate it. Thank you for sending that in. Daniel Fitzpatrick writes, this is awesome. Loved you together. Thank you. And hey, listen, we loved working together. And, it's part of what made me love my job. And we've both been really excited about the idea of doing this. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it might be a train wreck, but I think it's going to be a fun train wreck.
Well, both.
Yeah, it'll be a fun train wreck nonetheless. Paul writes, hold on a second, had a little bit of a jump here. Okay, Paul writes, finally, the good old days are back. As a huge fan of the John Campea Show and the Schmodown, I am very excited. Over under 5%, we will see John in a Star Wars Schmodown match in 2020. I don't know if that is likely, but I will, 5% is really low. I'll say over 5%. I'll say over 5. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'll say over 5.
If you want to ask me what's the percentage of me asking John, you can go over 100%. I definitely am going to try to get John not only back on the announcing table. I'm going to definitely try to get him back in the Star Wars division, because the Star Wars division right now, even though it is small, it's mighty, and there's some fierce competitors in there right now. And John in that group would really heat things up.
It's one of my favorite Schmodown moments ever.
I know what
I'm going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to say. The free-for-all.
The free-for-all. What was it?
Andreyko.
Triple knockout with Mark Andre.
4 people.
Oh, that's right. It was 5 guys at the table.
John Roca, William Bibbiani, Dan Murrell, and Drew McWeeny. He knocked them all out. He got 5 right, and they all got 4. If you've never seen a free-for-all, please go and check out the free-for-all.
I had people turn that into a GIF, and we're constantly
screaming.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Like when it dawned on us. Yeah. What just happened? It was like one of the craziest.
I can hear it. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
The whole place went bananas. It was awesome.
It was crazy.
Awesome.
All right. Geeks and Gamers writes in. For all my joking, I'm legitimately happy to see Campea and Harloff together again. Good luck, Jeremy. Well, thank you for that. That's very nice. I think
that was nice of him, and I got to tell you, because a lot of times, and because I know that Jeremy has both been a critic of mine and a fan of mine, and I think that for the fact that I think that was very nice that he wrote that in there too. And thank you, man, and congratulations on the subscribers. I think that's really awesome.
Jack Dries writes, will this be on Campea?
What is that?
I don't even know.
What are you even working on?
Oh, wait. I'm not going to say, just in case I'm wrong about that.
Okay.
Ricky writes, wish Zen Master could join the Campea camp. Hey, listen, Dennis, Zen, and I, at minimum, Dennis and I get together once a month. I mean, if for no other reason that we get together and watch the big UFC fights. But hey, listen, Dennis is happy doing what he's doing. He is like simply one of the most, if not the most talented guy behind the scenes to make things happen. It is what it is where he's at, but you'll see he and I pop up in each other's Instagram feeds. You'll still see that. Alex Hania writes, I was telling a friend over a week ago that this was going to happen. With Harloff leaving Collider and the two of you hanging out lately, this just felt like it was coming. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we've had people kind of saying they've sniffed it out, and we've tried to play coy about it. I mean, didn't take Sherlock Holmes.
No, we said it though too. We even said they're going to figure it out and let them. Like we said, it's going to be the worst secret in the world.
Worst kept secret.
The worst kept secret in the world. And,
but fun nonetheless.
Yeah,
it is nice though that it's out of the bag.
Yeah, it is, and that was the thing. Even today, like, so we didn't even know how we were necessarily going to even announce this today. Where we said like,
we literally decided 20 minutes before we did the stream.
Right. We said
you show up. How are we going to do this?
Right. And I said maybe we can put 2 videos. I'll put one on SCN. I said, you know what? You want a live stream? And he looks at me and goes, yeah. Let's live stream. He ran upstairs to set up the thing, and then it's like, because I think also, and we didn't really say this, but I think we felt it. Let's get back on the air together because this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
so this is the first time we've been on the air for like 2.5 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, well, actually, that's true. I didn't even think about that. It is. All right, guys. A lot of you guys have sent in a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to try to fly through a bunch of these as much as possible. So I don't want to drag this on too much here, but let's see. Morse Codes writes, I am not upset. Fireworks. Thank you so much, man. Josh Bing writes, you guys together again warms my heart. Well, thank you so much, Josh. You saying something like that warms our hearts, man. Seriously. It's great to see that sort of support. Strong Nerd writes, Schnepp is smiling from heaven today. Great news. You know, it's funny. Whenever, people talk about, they'll write to me and say, the great old days when Campea, Harloff, Ellis, and Schnepp.
Yeah.
And whenever stuff like this does come together, whenever I see a good comic book movie, whenever anything like that's...
Every time I watch Endgame and that end scene, I think of him every time.
Yeah.
So, just for him.
Oh, jeez. Of course. Of course. I still remember the first, I think the first time that you, me, Ellis, and Schnepp shared the table at the same time. I believe it was a Jedi Council episode.
Ever? No, it was AMC.
Think so.
It was AMC. Because we did, you had us on.
But I'm not sure we had the four of us, because I think back in the AMC, I could be wrong, but I just remember it was a Jedi Council episode, and I remember we were about 10 minutes into the show, and I just remember thinking to myself, because I was sitting, and I remember that day I was sitting at the end of the table, and I remember sitting, this energy is incredible.
It was, the Jedi Councils we all did together was great, but I'm pretty sure the first time we were doing, because that was 2015, the one you're talking about, because Jedi Council didn't start until really get off the ground until like 2014.
Well, yeah, you and I, we did Jedi Council when I was still doing a lot of the AMC videos from my home studio.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Well,
you, me, and Paul Enns did the first episode of Jedi Council.
So I guess the kind of origin story of how that all went down, because I was doing Far, Far Away on Geek Nation.
That's right.
And I wasn't a full-time employee at AMC, but I was doing a lot with AMC. And I said to you, I think that we should do a weekly Star Wars show. And you said, you think a weekly Star Wars show could work? I think like a mini would work. And I said, let's try. We would try to do the mini, and you're like, okay, so you got Paul, who used to work at Lucasfilm and everything too. So we did the 4, and it crushed. And we said, all right, let's do a weekly. And that's how it was
we
born.
did it as a what do they call it on TV shows now? Something event series. They're no longer called miniseries. They're no longer called miniseries. Now they call them 6-part television event, like whatever Chernobyl was. That's what we kind of did, and it kind of took off from there.
It was awesome.
All right, I said we were going to start flying through them, and then I spent all that time on that.
If you have time, it's fine.
All right, let's see here. Paul Dinozo writes, hell yes, this is great Star Wars fan service. I mean, it's great for these Star Wars fans. I'm super happy about it. Jason O'Connor writes, Collider must be super pissed off right now. No, not necessarily.
No.
Look, again.
Let me respond on that if I
please
can.
do.
Because, and I've said it before, over there, they're all really good friends of mine, and they have been very good to me, and everything that I had, the conversations that I had with them leading up to it, they're going to crush over there. And this is not, like John said before, it's not a competition thing. This is just me trying to further my career, doing something new, John furthering his career, doing something new, us being back together, talking like we used to, two old friends talking. It's not about anything else, and I wish them all the best, and I would assume that they do the same for me.
Yeah, it's not like we're in a world where there's 20 M&Ms in the bowl and we each only get so many. There are 1.8 daily internet users, billion internet users in the world.
Right.
It's not a matter of competition. There's room for everybody at the table. All right, let's move on here. Angel Palma writes, awesome news. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Hold on a second, another little bit of a jump. Got to go back.
That's funny.
Altan writes, Christian and John, please do the Predator handshake. Maybe not right now.
But
we're in the same room there.
Yeah.
Okay. Saber writes, one of my favorite Screen Toes return, been so long. It has, and again, it's just when you said 2.5 years, my first reaction was to correct you. Say, well, no, it has been 2.5 years. That's crazy.
Well, like that, yeah. I mean, you've been doing your own channel now for at least 2 years, right?
Yeah. No, actually, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because the other day I was going to say on the show, I was getting ready to say, I've been doing this on my own now for a little over a year, and then I stopped and went, no, it's been over 2 years now, and time has flown, man. Time has flown. Jord MCHG writes, thank you, Jesus. Well, yes, I'm sure he appreciates the gratitude. Sinfinity and Beyond writes, wow, what's next? Patriots versus Giants Super Bowl? Maybe, although it was great. When Christian and I were talking, I think it was Thursday, and we were texting back and forth about ideas, and it's like, it just so happens that the Patriots are playing the Giants right now.
You guys can win all the regular season games you want, but in the big ones, you can't do it. So
6 rings say otherwise.
Yeah, but how many times did you beat us?
That's your 2 rings? Isn't that special?
No.
Isn't that cute?
How many times did
you guys don't even make the playoffs now.
How many times did you beat us?
In the Super Bowl?
And when it was time.
No times.
Who beat Brady? Twice.
Eli beat Brady.
Thank you so much.
Which would I take? 2 Super Bowls over the one team or 6 Super Bowls in general?
I'll take the big 2 catching off the helmet.
Oh, of course you will. I'll take the 6. I'll take the 6.
It's fine.
You're gonna hear a lot of that, by the way. Okay, maybe just not this year.
And baseball is a sport.
Don't even get me going. Yeah. All right, that was Sinfinity. Where are we at? We're now at Anthony Nugget, who sends in a really large super. Thank you, Anthony, for supporting the channel on that level, man. I really appreciate that. Well, I'll be damned. Good to hear. We'll express more of my thoughts on SEN Live with my British robot gal. I'm assuming that's a little bit of an inside.
Well, you'll definitely get to know the robot gal. So we do a thing on SEN that if you chime in over the 20 or so, that a robot will interrupt the show and do a special message as a British robot.
No.
And Anthony's done it, and we had it a couple different
I've watched it, but how have I missed that?
You watched yesterday's. There was
Maybe
like 4 or 5 of them yesterday. It was amazing.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll keep my eye open for that. All right. Next up here, Rickiest Ricky writes, happy to hear the
Yeah.
You're not going to hear a lot of impressions from me, but from the guy who can do it well, you might hear them from here. Welcome to the fam. Haskell420 writes, XXX5X for the win. What an epic moment from the first time Christian guested on AMC Movie Talk in 2012. I still remember that day. The chemistry and magic between you was legit. Yeah, man, I still remember that. That was a crazy time at AMC because it was a time when AMC still... And we didn't even know, okay, what's this thing? AMC didn't know what we really were going to be.
No.
They just knew we were some division in LA, didn't know what to make of it. And then all of a sudden, I remember when we hit 1 million views a year.
Right.
Not a month.
A year.
A year.
Right.
That's when the people at AMC started going, wait, what? And then they gave us a little bit more of a budget to hire some more staff. And that's when you and I talked. And
that whole thing came down because it was actually 2013. But because I was doing the show on the Toad Hop Network for Schmoes.
Yes, you were still there. That's right.
I started to catch word of this AMC Movie Talk, and I had started to hear your name, and then we got connected. Did a guest spot. It worked out, and I was on the show, became a regular in 2014 because Ellis joined like 8 months later.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was crazy.
You were certain about him, not so much. Him was like,
No, he was always. I mean, he was. I think it's just with his stand up and everything though too. It was like because he was. Well, you even said to me, we had conversations about it because you were like, and I think we've talked about this on air before, but we've had those conversations like, well, are you going to be full time on this, or because you got Schmoes and it's a good thing over there? Right. What are you going to do? And I said, no, I'm committed to this thing, and you trusted me in it, and I was committed to it, and I balanced both, and here we are today.
And then everything just progressed the way it did. Let's see. EJ Tan writes, hey, John, what's up? Hope you're having a good day. I am. I'm having a great day, actually. Anyways, this is the dream right here. John, your channel has just became even more epic. Well, look, whenever you get to add... for whatever it is you're doing, whenever you get to add like a Christian Harloff to it, it's great. And when you get to go and join Christian Harloff on another show, that's even better. This is a great day for me. And it's something, when Ann and I talked about, because, my schedule's a little bit tight. But when Ann and I talked about it, and Ann is the gatekeeper of my time, including when I want to do anything new on the channel. Ann is the gatekeeper of my time. And I remember when I first floated the idea that Christian and I might do more stuff, Ann was like instantly, oh yeah, that you do.
Right.
That you do. And that was a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, and the equally the same sentiment here for SEN. It's like we already with brand new talent. That's something you were always very good at, and something I pride myself on. We have Brett Sheridan, we have Kate Mulligan, these new people that are really showing the fans are showing support. I got Mark Ellis coming back, but to be able to add John
RG3 on your
RB3 is our engineer.
RB3.
That's what I was gonna say. RB3 is
I've always liked that kid.
He's the best, and RB3 is our engineer, and we have David, who are our 2 engineers. But RB3 has been adding so much just flavor to the overall episodes, and to have him as a full-time member, as a regular Schmoes, you got Ellis and RB3 back as Schmoes. You got the brand new, Brett Sheridan, Winston Marshall is another great talent. But then to be able to add John Campea also to the roster of SEN personalities, I mean, it's a win-win for both networks here.
All right, let's keep going here. Darth Harloff and Obi-Wan Kenobi AMC fans rejoice. There's a little bit of a nostalgia ring to it, Brett, isn't there? Thomas, sorry, another jump. Where'd we go? There he is. Thomas Roughly just sends in a super chat. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that, brother. Cliff Elor writes, this is dope news. It's on now. Go time. It is go time. And, I've been wanting to let everybody know.
Yeah.
I mean, but, I sometimes let my enthusiasm get the better of myself, and sometimes I'll like announce something when I haven't got all the details figured out, and it's been such a struggle. Because whenever we've talked, it's been very much. Both of us have wanted to just make the announcement, but it's
I got to tease the poster. I called you and I said, look, I just want to tease the poster, and I put the poster out there without anything, and that was that. And you said, aren't people going to put it together? I was like, yeah. So let's just put it out there.
By the way, I'm going to take credit for it. I came up with the name Dark Side, Light Side.
You did, and
I remember I texted it to you.
You did, and I said I love it.
Immediately texted me back, and then like within a day, you had a poster made. It was
this
amazing.
is why I wanted to give credit to Brian Ward. Brian Ward did
a great job.
He's the Schmodown graphics guy, but he's a genius. And not only did he come up with the Dark Side, Light Side, he came up with the Campea and Harloff, and there's many logos that he came up with. He did like 8 in like a day, and they're all gorgeous.
So good. And by the way, I put this one up. This might not be the final one. By the way, I like this one.
I like that one too, but
that might not be the final one though, because there are several that he sent over that I really
the audience vote on it.
Yeah, could do that too. Yeah. Well, we'll take that in advisement. All right. That was Cliff. Let's move on. Echo Base Network writes, why did you delete your thoughts on Walk's video yesterday? I thought it was a good video. Glad to see Harloff leaving Collider. Congrats. Well, I mean, we're here to talk about this thing here. I've already addressed, I put up on a post about that. Boy, I just decided to take that one video down. But at any rate, what I think is great for Christian, and I told Christian this when he first talked to me about this, I said, I don't think it's good or bad that you're staying or leaving anywhere. I think it's great that you're busting out on your own. As somebody who's done that myself, I just think that is great for him. It's not about where he's coming from or anything. It's just about just breaking out on your own. I think Christian is not only a unique talent, but he's also got something very similar to me. He's got an entrepreneurial drive to him. And I always thought this would be really good for you. Yeah, so I just thought this would be a really exciting time for you.
And I appreciate it. And this is something that you've kind of paved the way when you left, though, because everything you did with Super Chat and the idea, because we sat down and we had a conversation, and people were the first picture that you ever took when we were
months ago.
Yeah, that what came out of that was the fact that I was going to spend an obscene amount of money and max my cards out on expensive cameras. John said, you don't need to do that. He's like, look at the cameras that I've been using for my show, and the quality is incredibly, and he said, if you're able to do that for the Schmodown, because I was just talking about Schmodown at the time. And he said, if you're able to do that, so I looked into it, and I said, oh, wow. And then my brain started kind of moving. I'm like, well, what if I did kind of more stuff, and I was eventually able to do my own thing? Could I run a network similar to what you've been doing and using Super Chat? And I wanted to do it. And so John kind of paved the way with that particular, the way that people are doing that now. And I've told him, and I thanked him for that, because for the 4 streams or 5 streams I've already done, I've seen, the fans, they want to support. They want this thing, because this, I'm taking a risk with, I got my family that I got to take care of them. So the network needs to work for them first. And then I got to try to bring people the way that you have brought people in. So this show, the other shows that we're doing, I'm feeling confident, but it's still, it's scary, but a good scary.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm totally there with you. I mean, look, I've been doing this for over 2 years on my own now, and it's still a little scary, but it's that little bit of scary is a good thing, I think. And I think I told you this from day one. I think you're going to thrive.
Thanks,
I really do. Or else I've just hooked my latch onto a sinking ship. So I hope it works out.
Yeah,
all right.
me too.
Let's see. Luis Blanco writes, best customer service ever. Thanks, guys. Hey, no, thank you, Luis. Appreciate that, man. Jake Iyer writes, glad to see this. Just made my day. Made our day too, Jake. So thank you so much for being here. Riley Johnson writes, big fan since the AMC days. Great news. Congrats. Thank you so much, Riley. It does have a really good nostalgia feel to it right now. Ben Rayner writes, Mandalorian recaps together. Actually, no. I mean, when we do Dark Side, Light Side, I'm sure it'll come up.
But separate ones on separate channels.
I'm going to do my own. And this is the great thing about YouTube, is that instead of just one Mandalorian recap, you're going to get 2. You're going to get me doing mine on my channel, and then you're going to get Christian doing his on his, or whichever order it's going to be. And you can watch one and then go watch the other and see how it compare contrast. I'm sure we're going to have some very different ideas and opinions on it.
Well, that's what I'm excited about, because we're both going to be doing separate ones, and then we get to meet back in the middle on Dark Side, Light Side. And I watched what you said on your review, and I think I got to disagree with you, or I think you were spot on, because, and I think we're going to have a lot of those conversations, because that'll carry on over. And one of the things I think and I'm sure you found this for sure, what I have found so exhilarating about doing the Super Chats and everything too, is that they become the producers in sense of the show.
Oh yeah,
where they dictate the conversation, and to have that through Star Wars, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Okay, next up here, Paul Denuzzo.
Yeah, he's great.
Hashtag Action Army sends its regards.
So Action Army is
I'm assuming that's a team.
The artists formerly known as Team Action, Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy, they were a big team. They had the most loyal Schmodown. There's pockets of Schmodown fan groups, and the Action Army is just out of control. They come to all the live events. They have meetups together.
Really?
They're very supportive. They're wonderful people. They're great.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Black Rice 19. Another candidate for best name of the day. Black Rice 19 writes, "This is the best news ever. So excited. Thank you so much, man. We are really stoked about it too, in case you couldn't tell." Chris Warden writes, "The band is back together. Hashtag AMCOG crew for life." Going back, you know what's funny? True story. I got back from the gym in the morning. I just grabbed any t-shirt to wear until.
Was it the Sons of
I bridged it. I pulled out, it was an old Sons of AMC shirt.
That's awesome.
I love that
That's
shirt.
a great shirt. Yeah.
And then a few hours later, I went down to the LA Convention Center so I can go meet the Mayans guys.
Oh, that's great. You know, I've never seen that show still.
Dude, I put off starting to watch it because I thought it looked like a poor man's Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I've never seen Sons of Anarchy.
You've never seen Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Dude, it's my number 2 or 3 all-time favorite show.
I've never seen it.
Oh man, I gotta get you on that show.
Trust me, it's just I don't have time to watch shit.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
But this is one of the greatest shows ever made. You should try to give this one a shot. All right. Let's see. Alex is Aranjo writes, shake and that's a little bit of Talladega Nights. Shake and bake together again. Thanks for the reference, fan. And I got that reference. I feel like Captain America. Random Rock in Real Riffs and Reviews writes, "It has begun." A little bit of Mortal Kombat in there. "It has begun. Rise." Also, it's a
Hashtag
sport.
It's a sport. Baseball.
It's a game.
It's a sport.
It's a game.
It's a sport.
Superman Steve writes, sorry, another big jump. Superman Steve writes, "John, started my own YouTube channel, only been going for 8 months and loving doing my reviews. Just want to say thank you for your inspiration." Dude, I'm always telling people, the online fan community needs more voices. It needs your voice. Doesn't matter if you have 5 audience members. Doesn't matter if you have 5,000 audience members. Add your voice to the conversation, Steve. And I'm glad that you did that. And good on you, man. I hope it goes well. Most importantly, I hope you're having fun. All right. Let's see here. Cameron V writes, "Loving it. Do you guys keep in touch with Amy Rose Eisenbach? The energy was always fun." Yeah, I only hear she just travels in much different circles now. The only time I really hear from her is when she's got an event going on.
Yeah, well, we had her on Claire Live, and I had a chance. I talked to her, and every time I see her, I thank her because she's really, I think, instrumental.
She's the one who connected you and me.
Well, she's the one who had those conversations to get me on as a regular. Like and that when you were hiring the full staff, and when you were a little on the fence because of the schmoes thing, I spoke to Amy Rose because I was just coming off of my job at The Bachelor, and I was in between jobs, and I said, I really want this. And then she fought hard for it in general, and then we just clicked. But Amy Rose was always like one of my biggest, myself and Mark, biggest champions. But whenever I see her, I thank her. But she's kicking ass as a director.
She's a filmmaker now.
She's a filmmaker. She's a great filmmaker.
If you guys have not seen her stuff, you should look up her stuff.
Her movie, she just shot a movie about
the female soccer players
that play and set a record for the highest altitude
game of all time. You guys should go check it out.
Yeah.
Give a little bit of a hunt for that.
Definitely.
Let's see here. Superman Stacy's, "I just wanted to celebrate with you. Thank you, man. It's good. The more the merrier." Brian Dickerson writes, it just sends a super chat. Thank you, Brian Dickerson. Laser Pants Toy Junk writes, "Will you ever have Andy Signore on the show?" Well, I mean, look, I generally only have people on my show who can come into studio. And Andy now...
He's in Florida. I've talked to Andy.
He's in Florida.
And I've talked to him a few different times and texted about everything that's kind of happened and gone on. And once I get into SEN, we'll talk a little bit more. But too, I think that what Andy's going through now, he was accused of really terrible stuff. He was able to clear his name, at least in my opinion. And now he's out there making his own channel and doing his own thing. So... yeah.
So, but you'll notice on the John Campea Show, I don't bring in random guests. Like I got me and Rob, and then when I need a new regular, I went out and got Aaron Cummings. I don't just kind of bring in random guests on the shows or anything like that. But never say never. I'll say that. Never say never. Harry Willful writes, "Huge Jedi Council and John Campea fan. Didn't see this coming." Well,
You haven't been paying attention.
I mean, I think, but you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Even before the live stream started in the chat board, there were some people saying, I think it's going to have something to do with Harloff. Nah, it's not going to have something to do with
Yeah.
Harloff. So you saw a little bit of back and forth.
You can't assume everybody catches up on all the social media stuff too. They probably just, if you're following from the streams, then if you're only watching your live streams, how would they know this is coming?
This is true.
Yeah.
All right, let's race through the last few ones here. CXY writes, I've been busting my ass for 5 years waiting for this.
I'm going to make a shirt. I'm really going to make a shirt. I have to.
You know what? People didn't see it because I didn't film this year's Masters of the Web panel at Comic-Con. But by far, the best moment of the Masters of the Web panel at Comic-Con this year was Star Wars came up.
Yeah.
Do you remember exactly what it was?
I don't know what it was.
The
I cracked
context
a
was?
joke on it. Well, because Chris Gore kept saying, I'm going to make fun of you for doing it. And I was like, if it comes up, then great, but don't just do it. Because, like, what do you, I mean, it's got to fit the moment.
This was off stage.
This is off stage.
Yeah.
So you just got to fit the moment. He's like, oh, I got to do it. I'm like, you don't need to do it. Well,
But it was something along the lines of Star Wars came up.
But it was, and it came on, and the moment was right, and I cracked the joke, and it went over well with the crowd. But that was the thing, is that I said to people, because there was a guy that came up to me afterwards. He's like, I was a pretty harsh critic on you for that. And I said, you should have been. It was a bad moment. But hey, it's like, but the thing is, it's like, I got to be able to crack jokes on that also.
Yeah.
I got to be able to.
I almost died laughing.
Yeah, you were laughing.
For those of you who were, it's like, a question came up, a Star Wars question came up, and Christian was like, well, first of all, I just want to mention, I've been busting my ass as a Star Wars fan for 5 years, and I just about died.
I know.
I just about died. It was so funny. All right. Jim Meyer writes, at Celebration Orlando, I swear I heard as much / more buzz about you guys presenting than Lucasfilm stuff. It was well-deserved, and I'm thrilled to see you two back together. Seriously, listen, Star Wars Celebration Orlando.
Yeah.
I had one of my most unbelievable moments of self-actualization. I remember I can't remember if it was just our panel or if it was the actual Star Wars trivia event, but it was one of the two.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I remember I was heading down to it, and there was this massive line going around the entire top floor of the convention
both.
center.
It was council and
then I realized this is the line for our thing.
Yeah.
And then I got to the line. This is where it really went crazy. I got to the line, and I said to the guy at the front, when are you going to start letting people in? He said, oh, no, we already have, and it's already
maxed
full.
out. Yeah,
and I looked in the room, it was maxed out, that was packed with hundreds, and then I looked at the line of the people who could. It was, seriously, guys, you have no idea, and we would talk about it once in a while, but you guys have no idea over the years what the support, whether it's showing up and being in line for an event like that, whether it's showing up to a live Schmodown or coming to a meet and greet that we would do in San Diego or whatever, you have no idea the type of emotional support that you guys have given us, and you've really propped us on over the years with the support that you've shown, whether it's been with super chats or whether it's been by showing up to these events. You have no idea. It's I can't even put it into words. I speak for a living. I can't put it into words.
No, it's tough. It's tough.
How amazing it is.
Well, that was, like I said in the beginning, I was nervous about it, and then after that live stream, I was like, oh, people are really they want to support. They want to be like, because, and what always throws me, and I still to this day we've been getting it forever, but like when someone tells them that we changed their day, or we made a really bad day a good day.
Yeah.
That does something, because you're like, we're just sitting here kind of cracking jokes, but you realize that's their, whether it's their morning radio or the show that they do, because they want to escape for a little bit and listen to people talk about the stuff that they love, and to see that line, whether it was for both Schmodown and for the for Jedi Council that day, that was something pretty special. That's why every time I go to these live events, we're going to Orlando this Saturday. Get your tickets at theschmodownlive.com. And we're going, and I'm just excited every single time, because 400, 500, 600 people showing up there to cheer on this stuff that, started on a show in 2014 as a little trivia segment. It's pretty cool.
It's amazing. So you guys have been amazing. So thank you so much, guys. John Kelly writes, sends in a really large super chat. Thank you, John. Appreciate that, man. Congratulations, John and Christian from Scotland. Good luck to you, gentlemen. It's always amazing when we also think about, holy shit, there are people watching from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely unbelievable. So thank you so much for your well wishes, John. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching from Scotland. One of the #1 cities or countries I got to visit.
I got to go to, yeah.
I've never been to Scotland. I've got to get out there sometime. Jake Ayer writes, John, what's the chance of getting you back in the Schmodown? Look, honestly, I am a very busy dude. Like I said, I've got a wife who's actually the gatekeeper of my time. I will say this. I think the chances are good. Actually, honestly, you might think we're lying. I'm not. Christian and I actually haven't talked in depth about this at all.
About the Schmodown? No.
No. I don't be surprised if you see me on the announcing table with Christian sometime soon. That's as much as I can say right now, but Again, Christian and I haven't talked a lot about it yet, so we've been more focused on trying to get this other stuff up and running. Ryan Fenley writes, Christian, get Roca on SEN. Love him. Hashtag 5 Horsemen. I don't know that I've ever seen a more passionate Schmoedown competitor than he was. That dude just like was in love with competing in the Schmoedown.
Challenge for the team titles this weekend, and he's the one guy that hasn't taken a break. He is 14-9 is his record right now in singles. I mean, when you're back in the day, that's just singles. He's playing. I love Roca. Roca's a very close friend of mine. Roca and I have been buddies since college. If Roca is available, because he's a full-time employee at Collider, so if he's available to do shows whenever, if I'm doing some on the weekend or it's at night shows, of course, there's doors always open for Roca.
And by the way, that 14-9 record, it's a lot like a Nate Diaz record. Don't be fooled, because in the 14-9, he's not competing against tin cans.
No. All of his losses come like champions.
They're in title matches and stuff. His losses all came to like top ranked people. SWTOR Gaming writes, I felt a disturbance in the YouTube algorithm as if millions of fans rejoiced at once. I met Christian in New York City. I haven't met John yet, but I love you guys. Such a big inspirations for me and my channel. That's always awesome. Like considering how much. It's always been important to me, at any rate, to try to encourage more and more people to get involved in blogging, YouTubing, podcasting, stuff like that. It's always special to me to hear somebody is doing something like that. So thank you so much, man. Would that have been... No, you've gone to New York a number of times. Because I remember once we went for Complex. We went out there for Complex.
No,
did a little
I've done 2 live shows since. We were just there in August and we were there in January. We're going back in January to open up the season next year.
Maybe I'll go.
Please.
All right, next one up. Haskell420 writes, will Ellis be involved at all? He's got to be happy. Well, I mean, he's very involved with the SEN.
Yeah, he's going to be on that network. You talk about a guy that's busy, whether he's doing Rotten Tomatoes stuff or he's, touring, stand-up. He's really slammed, but he and I have been through this since the beginning. So when we had a conversation about SEN, he said, no, I'm with you for at least one show a week. I'll be doing a show. So we haven't decided when yet, but Mark will be involved in SEN, and I don't know if we can get him on this show yet. It's just I just don't know what he's doing.
This is crazy. I have not had a chance to sit and talk with Ellis in months. The last time I saw him, he and I were in Vegas at the same time. Okay. And he was playing at Garrett's.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Garrett's Comedy Club. The guy from everybody
Garrett.
Realize, right? At Garrett's Comedy Club. So he texted me. He's like, "You're in Vegas. Come see the show." And I'm like, "Yes." So he put my name down. I went to the show, but I was there for the World Series of Poker.
That's right. I saw your post because you Instagrammed about it.
Yeah. But I had to split before I had a chance to talk. It was in Vegas with him, saw his show, and still didn't have a chance to talk to him.
Well, he'll be around, and maybe it might, depending on if he's on the Tuesday morning show, you guys will probably cross over anyway from when you're doing Dark Side Lights.
Otherwise, most of our interactions when I make fun of him for being a Redskins fan.
Yeah, well, that's accurate. Right
They
now.
did win a game though.
I know
they
did.
This
I
weekend.
know.
Good for them. Let's see. Emma McAllister writes, "Nice to see you two together again. I love seeing you repping Leafs Nation, Campea." Listen. I don't talk a lot about it because a lot of my American friends don't follow hockey. I am bleed blue, screw the Patriots, screw everybody else. I am a bleed blue and white. I have been my whole life. And wrap your head around this. For as long as other sports fans, including this guy, who think you might have to be long suffering for fans of whatever team you have, in my lifetime, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the most history franchise in the history of hockey, nay, sports itself, have never even been to the Stanley Cup Finals, let alone won the Stanley. My entire life. Rough. Never won shit.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
This is the year. Yeah. I'm telling you, this is the year. All right, SWTOR Gaming writes, again, with the jump, here he goes. Damn autocorrect, I meant Christian, hashtag fulfilling your destinies. We got it. I'm sure you get people writing in Christian with a C because of autocorrect, probably all the time.
Sure.
All the time. All right. Nick writes, Ellis, Sinead, Mova appear, Avengers theme plays. Well, I don't know if you're going to see like the whole group. And, last I checked, Ashley's like, well, first of all, Ashley's married.
Yes. And she's doing real estate.
She's doing real estate
She's doing very well. And we just talked about this, I don't know, on my live stream yesterday. Sinead is killing it right now.
Yeah.
Sinead, because when Sinead was just starting out when she was on Movie Talk.
She'll tell you that I gave her first 2 jobs.
Yeah.
The very first job she was hired for in this business, I hired her for the Pretty Little Liars after show.
Right.
And then I brought her over to AMC. Well, and she's a unique talent.
She's a unique talent. She's doing phenomenal stuff right now, and she's Sinead's one of my favorite people in the world. I love Sinead.
She got an adorable kid too.
Yeah.
Adorable kid. Anthony Nugent writes, will there be a follow-up announcement on SEN? How are you going to handle that? You're just going to take parts of this video and put it up there?
That's what we're going to do. Probably.
When's your next live stream?
Probably not until next week because I did it last night because I'm going out of town on Thursday for Orlando.
Oh,
that's why I wanted to get one in. I mean, so leading up until November 4th, I'm only going to do one a week, and also because RB3, who's my engineer, and also another on-air talent that we're going to be, he's only available a couple times during the day, but he's available during the mornings, hence why we're doing the morning show also. Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, Argos Green writes, congratulations from Russia. Great to see you too. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you sending that in. Zach Lucelle writes, this is better than a Star Wars trailer. Holy crap. Well, I don't know. I think I might take a Star Wars trailer, but this is close.
Yeah,
this is
true.
close. Ghost Crier PL LLC writes, you motivated me to drop 9 to 5 and investing in myself. Hey man, listen, that's great. If you could do it, if you can prepare properly, take calculated risks, and position yourself to succeed whenever you can do stuff on your own and for yourself is a great thing to do. So best of luck to you, Ghost Crier. And thank you for letting us know that, dude. All right, final question today. This has gone way longer than I was anticipating. Final question today comes to us from Jamie Sunday. So please don't send any more, guys. Christian Harloff, what's the format you have envisioned for your channel? Complete solo or with guests? And how's the fam doing, Christian? Missed this Shaq and Kobe duo. Well, you're constantly showing me pictures. Your family is adorable.
They're
man.
awesome.
Your family is adorable.
They're doing great, man. The kids are, they drive me nuts in the best way possible, and my wife does too, in the best way possible. But no, they're awesome. Thank you for asking. But and they're supportive, and it's all about taking this risk, and they understand it, or my wife understands it, and we know that we have to believe in ourselves and do it. As far as the structure and what it's going to be like, so my morning show will probably be around the same thing, the way I've always structured my morning shows. There'll definitely be people on. Brett Sheridan, Kate Mulligan will be on the morning show. Winston Marshall will be on the morning show. I mean, they'll be kind of mix and match the same way that we've done it in the past. RB3 and David will be our engineers. Ellis will be on the show. And we'll talk about things that are going on in our lives. We'll talk about the movie news. We'll talk about pop culture news. And then instead of phone calls towards the end, we're going to take super chat conversations. And then for Star Wars, the Dark Side, Light Side, very similar. It'll be John and I talking about the latest and greatest and everything happening in Star Wars, or maybe this is a particular topic that we might just talk about that day. If we
like one thing.
Like if that Kevin Feige news came out that day, that would have been the whole show.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so something like that, and then we'll end the show with all your questions. So that's the stuff I have going on for now. There's other ideas that I have for programming, but I want to get those off the ground first. So that's the slate of shows. Don't worry about it, phone.
Listen, guys, that's it. We just wanted to make, I thought a 20-minute announcement has turned into a 1-hour announcement, but there you go. Yeah. So once again, Dark Side, Light Side is going to be on Tuesdays in the afternoon at some point. We'll nail down a time. Over on the SEN network, that's going to be us talking Star Wars. And on Thursdays, broader stuff on the Campea and Harloff show here on the John Campea YouTube channel. If you have not done so already, make sure you guys, if you're here, you obviously know my channel. If you haven't done so already, guys, get on over and subscribe to Christian's channel. Again, Christian, where can people find it?
Yeah, if you're going to subscribe there, please. If you want to catch Dark Side Lights on Tuesdays, it's youtube.com/the Schmodown. If you're looking for audio, same thing, Movie Trivia Schmodown on the Apple Podcasts or Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts. That's where you can find it. But for me, it's just Christian Harloff, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the whole thing.
And of course, guys, you can just follow me on all the social media stuff, simply at John Campea. Guys, spread the news. Go forth. Let it be known. This is a lot of fun. I don't know if this is gonna be a total train wreck or not, but we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. So thank you guys for all your support, and thank you for your encouraging words. We appreciate it greatly. So November 4th, that's Tuesday. No, when is
Monday.
So the November 5th will be the first.
That's correct. November 4th is the first SEN Live at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's the first morning show.
Right.
And then that will be the second show, which will be 10 to 12 o'clock. And then whenever that is, whatever time we decide on, Tuesday, November 5th, that will be the first ever Dark Side, Light Side with myself and John Campea debuting on the SEN network, youtube.com/the Schmodown.
And then on November 7th, I guess that would be the Thursday,
Yep. Will
be the first episode of the Campea and Harloff show here on the John Campea YouTube channel. This is exciting times, guys. It's like James Gunn, who's directing at Marvel and DC. We got shows going up on both networks, which I think is amazing. And again, guys, thank you so much for your all support. That'll do it for us for now, guys. Thanks so much for being here. That's Christian Harloff. I'm John Campea. You guys are you. Thank you so much for all your support. Until next time, Bye-bye.
Boom.